immediately what came to mind was, the fear of death, the fear of catching a miserable disease, the fear of being, you know, in a terrible, terrible situation where there doesn't seem to be a lot of hope at the moment.
We said, well, we'll come down right now. And they said, no, you can't. You'll have to stay there and we'll call you later. And we hung up the phone and then immediately had to call back because we didn't even know what to do, because neither of us were expecting him to be dead, and neither of us were expecting that that's what we were going to do that morning.
I thought that life being a challenge is not news for us. Life is always challenging us in one way or another.
I've been in a wheelchair for like 20 years, and I'm here because I have a disease which has no cure.
So I was sitting with my mom for about an hour, and then we got a phone call, and it said that my dad had passed away, and we weren't expecting that to be the outcome whatsoever. They were expecting us to come and tell us where we needed to go to see him, and they'd stabilize him, because that was the idea we got when the people had left.
Well, what this virus is different is that the pain that we're feeling, the isolation we're feeling, is shared by everybody in the universe.
My family can't come in because they'd be quarantined for 2 weeks in California, plus there's no funeral service or no gatherings whatsoever. It's been really hard to be able to grieve in ways you normally would expect.
When this thing comes around too, I look at it and I think, wow, I've been in my house for almost 2 months. I don't go anywhere. I see people only through this sort of medium. And I'm not depressed about that. It's a thing that I look at and I say, well, out of the Bible, this too shall pass at some point. It's not forever. And in this particular case, there is an end to it at some point.
Personally, I don't believe that God brought coronavirus to the world. My own personal philosophy is that God is present in all of it to provide strength, hope, peace in turbulent times.
And that as Christ followers, we believe that God is active in our world, that he's leading and doing everything that's divinely possible, even though it's not possible for us to understand and see it. And he's inviting us to do the same.
I'm hopeful that the church will be renewed as we discover or rediscover what the church is really supposed to be.
And also, I think just the reminder that our church is not a building, but a community of people. And as we meet for our Sunday school class on Thursday night, there's equal the connection as there's been sitting around a table at church, if not more.
The things that we're going to lose, we will mourn, but I have some hope that the things that we've gained in this time, the things that we find important, are going to be the things that last.
I never feel abandoned by God. I can see the beauty of God every morning when I go out on my front deck and sit out there and listen to the birds and feel the breeze in my face and the sun on my head and just watch what's going on by with the world and marvel in the fact that all this stuff is created by a man that loves us all, by a person that is, dedicated to us being part of his family.
As I read the news and I feel what's going on, alongside the mounting death toll and pain, I'm impressed by the incredible examples of bravery and generosity which are taking place.
What has been interesting is that my mom and I and my kids and my family have been hanging out and having some really good times that we never really have had. And we're sort of just spending time together, talking about the things that are going on and talking about, of course, my dad.
Time to recognize the beauty around us that I normally am going 100 miles an hour and I couldn't. This virus has caused me to slow down and find hope in nature, I guess.
This is not super exciting, but there's a lot of really deep times that we've had in the midst of that.
It's far from a blessing, but it's certainly not a curse.
And a different way of saying goodbye to my dad. And at the same time, hello to what our new life is going to be and what God has us called to do.
And I don't feel any less loved by God, and I don't feel abandoned by him or anything else like that. I think it's just one more thing, and I rely on him every day to keep me going. And he does.
I have opportunities now to impact my kids and teach them things that I normally wouldn't. I find hope in that.
All of these things together don't provide a cure, but they provide hope. Hope that by whatever effort we make, we can make some modest difference.
Life is love. Eternity is love. But you're going to have to live life to deal with it, and things are going to happen, but love is it.
Give us all